So we got Amir Khan here buddying up with Alexander Usyk ahead of this AJ rematch. So we know whose side Amir Khan's on. It seems like Khan is still salty about that situation between AJ and his wife. Not that anything happened between them, but Khan got paranoid when his wife was apparently liking a bunch of AJ's pics on Instagram or whatever, put two and two together and got 25 and thought that AJ was piping his wife. You know them ones. So Khan is apparently still holding feelings about that. And like I say, there he is, buddying up with Usyk. And I know Khan spends a lot of time in the Middle East and it could just be a coincidence, but let's be real. Khan hasn't always been complimentary of AJ, and that's okay. You ain't got to be complimentary of the guy all the time. But you could just sense, or at least I can just sense, that Khan don't really like the guy. And he seems to think that something did happen between AJ and his wife. But whatever the case may be, he says that Usyk has put on 15 kilos. And people are talking about this, saying Usyk looks huge and all this type of stuff. Well, my question would be, what's the starting point that he gained 15 kilos from? Because there was some talk of Usyk losing a load of weight when he was in the Ukraine and putting it back on again, I guess mostly after leaving the Ukraine. Some people say he got down to, 180 pounds or something like that. And I believe, I don't have a weight calculator in front of me right now, but I believe 15 kilos is about 40 pounds, there or thereabouts, roughly in the ballpark. Which would mean that, if he was 180 pounds and he's back up to 220, then that would be putting on 15 kilos. Or maybe he meant 15 pounds, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't know what the word for kilo is in Ukrainian. Maybe he thought that kilos were pounds. I don't know. But I saw the pictures of Usyk when he was supposed to have lost a load of weight, and he didn't look that different to me. I know it's difficult when someone's got, their top on or whatever. You can't really assess their weight as easily as you can if their top is off, but still, he didn't look 180 pounds to me. Has he lost some weight? That's perfectly possible under the circumstances. Obviously, a lot of stress and what have you. But there's also a lot of kidology in boxing. A guy like Usyk, he comes across as funny and all this kind of stuff, but I'm sure he's just as strategic when it comes to mind games and so on as any other fighter out there. I'm sure he's very strategic when it comes to those kind of things. So putting it out there that he's really weakened and, he lost whatever it was, 30, 40 pounds, and now he's putting it back on, and now, you know what I mean? Sometimes these fighters and their camps put out red herrings. They try and muddy the waters to confuse the other guy. Particularly a guy in AJ who Usyk knows is struggling mentally because of the defeat and because he hasn't quite found himself again since the Andy Ruiz loss. So Usyk knows this stuff, and it's also, it's possible that he really did lose the amount of weight that they said and he's put it back on, but it's also possible that he's playing some mind games. Maybe it's a bit of both, but certainly, based upon these pictures, he doesn't look 15 kilos heavier than he was last time. So the weight he was last time was, I think, was it 220, there or thereabouts? That can't have been the starting point, gaining 15 kilos from there, because then he'd be coming in at like 260. Right? And he definitely don't look 260 here, and that would be suicide in the fight for him to come in that heavy. So to me, he looks around the same weight as he was for the last fight. And even in the run up to that, people were talking about Usyk coming in at 230, 235. That didn't happen. He turned up on the scales and he was like 220. So I'm expecting something similar here, maybe slightly heavier, possibly 225, but I think the weight he was last time is a good weight for him. It was more than enough to beat AJ, and he should be at that kind of weight, in my view, this time as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Khan buddying up to Usyk. Do you think that he's still a bit salty about that AJ situation, a bit paranoid. Let me not get started on Khan again. Khan is the gift that keeps on giving. Unintentionally funny. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below.